Yo, what is up guys, this is Squirrel here, and today I'll be comparing the final boss battles of DJ Octavio in Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, and sharing my opinion on which one was tougher. Alright, so just off the bat, you may be questioning how I'll be doing this comparison without it just being blatant opinion, but I can confirm I've developed a way to make this video fair. In order to have it be legit, I'll be trying as much as possible to even out both battles so everything is under the same circumstances, which you guys will see as I go through the steps. Let's jump right into this. Step 1. Warming up. Okie dokie, so firstly I needed to play Splatoon 1 for the first time in about 5 months. This is crucial, as without warming up I may be just complete garbage in the Splatoon 1 boss battle, which would completely screw up the results. In order to adjust to the gamepad, I first went into ranked with my trusty 52 gal, and then practiced the aiming mechanisms with the charger for a few matches as well. Then I headed over to the Octo Valley. Step 2. Upgrades. After I warmed up, I needed to upgrade my weapon for the hero mode. Unfortunately, as I never really played the hero mode much originally, I had to grind the levels for enough power eggs. After about 10 levels, I was able to upgrade my hero shot, ink tank, and burst bombs to max level, as that is what I'd be using during the boss battle. Before we move on to step 3, I'd just like to clarify that I skipped step 1 and step 2 for the Splatoon 2 battle, because I've nearly 100%ed the hero mode, so I've maxed everything out already, and I'm more than comfortable with the controls at this point. Step 3. Analyzing the battles. Alright, so the part you all came here for, which is seeing which battle was tougher. Let's just go chronologically, starting with the Splatoon 1 battle. In Phase 1, DJ Octavio throws 2 pairs of torpedoes at you, which can be destroyed in a single shot, followed by one of his punches, which if you hit with about 10 ink shots will bounce back at him and push him backwards, allowing access to more of the battleground. After 3 punches, Octavio launches a giant eyeball thing, which I don't really know what it's called, at you in a pretty slow speed, which if you hit back 3 times consecutively, spins his ship around and he flies off to the next area, and you can super jump there with a launch pad that spawns. The second phase is like the first, except this time you need to use propeller lifts to get to the next area. And Octavio is now shooting a killer whale in between his other attacks, which remain similar but are sped up slightly. Also, if you didn't play Splatoon 1, a killer whale is a beam that instant kills, kind of like a stingray but wider. The rest of the second phase is pretty much the exact same as the first one, and after you launch the eye back 3 times, a launch pad to the third phase appears. In order to keep this video from going really long, I'll just sum up the additions both in attacks and battlefield for each phase, as each phase pretty much just builds on the last. In Phase 3, sponges take the place of some land, there are a few balloon fishes, and some enemy spawners are thrown at you. In the fourth phase, some of the platform is invisible until inked, 4 torpedoes that are thrown at a time, and all of the attacks are nearly double the speed that they were in the first phase. After launching the eye back 3 times, Callie and Mary begin to play Calamari Incantation, and the 5th and final phase starts. The addition for this phase is that you need to swim in an ink rail to get to the next battle section, and at the end it is very narrow, leading to the killer whale being very powerful as it covers most of the path. Once you complete the battle, Octavio flies out of his ship onto you, where you can shoot him back to his ship, which then blows up, giving you access to the Great Sapfish. This battle is actually pretty long as well, because it took me over 10 minutes even though I never died and moved on pretty speedily. Now let's go over the Splatoon 2 battle. To start it off, DJ Octavio throws his punches at you, which you have to shoot back at him, much like in the first game. However, this time his fists are his main attack, which means unlike the first game where 5 or so knocks him back to the end of the phase, you need about 10 to knock him out of his ship, which symbolizes the end of the phase. During the fight, Octavio gains a few new attacks, as he throws invincible spinning punches at you every few punches, and also shoots oversized splat or suction bombs at you in between punches as well. Another attack he gains is shooting balls of something at you, which can be destroyed but go up in pillars of ink upon ground impact, and the final attack Octavio has is his shower mode, where he flies up and then across the field, raining ink down below, but only in the width of his ship. Heading into Phase 4 is where this battle really gets creative and breaks from the routineness of the first 3 phases. In this phase, Sheldon gives you a modded Rainmaker which you can use while on 2 ink rails up in the air. Octavio then alternates between spinning punches and normal punches during this phase, and the only way to avoid the spinning punches is to jump to the ink rail while aiming the modded Rainmaker at the other fist. After dealing enough damage, Octavio's ship falls down to the center, where you can take a new middle ink rail to the middle and dunk the Rainmaker on him, causing his ship to blow up much like the first game and giving you access to the Great Sapfish. Results. Now that we've analyzed the battles, we can actually make a decision on which battle was tougher, and by that, better. Personally, I'd have to go with the battle from Splatoon 1, as the battle got a lot tougher from each phase to the next, and although it was doable, I found it much more difficult than the battle in Splatoon 2. There were a couple reasons for that, as I was always fending off attacks and such in the Splatoon 1 battle, and there were a lot more different enemies being added each phase. The Splatoon 2 battle isn't really difficult at all for me, as the stage has way more space than you will ever need to defeat Octavio, and once you get to phase 2 and 3, you've almost memorized his attack pattern. So there you have it, folks. That's my opinion on which DJ Octavio battle was tougher, and I completely think that Splatoon 1 wins out. Have a different opinion? Leave it in the comments below, and I'll try my best to give a serious response. With that, thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and if you're interested in another Splatoon 1 versus Splatoon 2 video, it's on screen now and in the description. See you all in the next video.